Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We're going to revise everything related to web authoring section in paper 3 for the ICT. Okay, I think you're all here, and as usual, this class will be recorded and microphones are off. You can always comment. I'll be reading your comments in the other screen, and I can pause the video, repeat the points once and twice until you find it easy to follow. Okay, are we good? Should we start? Sound is clear, picture is clear. Okay, and confirm, please. Okay, so as you can see now, these are the points that we're going to discuss, and these are the points that you need to know. Okay, and let's hope it will be easy for you. So first point always is image editing. In some of the papers you will find they might ask you to prepare images for the website before you start building or designing the website itself. And whenever you are preparing images, all the preparation that we are doing will be for the sake of making sure the image is suitable for the web page, and to make sure that the image is suitable for inclusion or for adding to your web page, we can do one of the following or all the following. Okay, so first of all, you need to resize it to a smaller size, and whenever you resize to a smaller size, you make sure that it will be easier to upload, download, or display, generally speaking, especially for people with very weak internet connection. And you can crop unwanted part, and it will also reduce the size of the image or the storage size. You can reduce the color depths, and remember, this is the only part that we need Photoshop to do it for it, and the color depths are normally 8, 16, or 32. 8 will be the smallest one and normally used by JPG images, and if you use this one, the image will have the smallest storage size. Okay, however, the image has to be a JPG format image. Okay, or you can change the image format to JPG instead of PNG or GIF, and by this you'll make sure that the storage size is the smallest. So the first part we're going to do practical today is these 4 points. We'll make sure that we cover them, and then after that we're going to insert tables. And remember, in your syllabus you have two types of tables. You can get a table that is pixel based tables. All dimensions are in pixel width and height, which is the simplest one, generally speaking. Okay, and the width of the table is normally defined inside the table. Okay, or the other table, which is a percentage table, and it's more complicated in terms of, later we'll see why, and you will find that the width will be defined, okay, in a paragraph before the table. Okay, so the width will be in percentage, of course, not in pixel, and it will be defined before the table most of the time. Okay, are we good so far? So we'll be doing both tables today. And then after that, we're going to insert informations or data inside the table. We can insert images, and images can be inserted either after resize inside the application using aspect ratio, meaning you can just change the width and the height will remain the same. You can resize with no aspect ratio. That means you'll have to change the width and the height of the image, which will introduce distortion if the ratio is not the same. Or we can insert an image and then remove the width and height. So we let the application decide on the width and height based on the window itself. Okay, so we have three ways of inserting images inside an HTML page. You can insert a text as well, where we can insert it and format it as a heading text, as a paragraph, as a list. And in list, we're going to do two lists, which is ordered list like 1, 2, 3, 4 list, unordered list like a bullet or a disk list. We can also insert video and audio, and most of the past papers we have solved, if you remember previously, only video has been introduced, no audio. But today we're going to include audio as well. Maybe you get the audio. Okay, and whenever we're importing video and audio, we need to use controls. Sometimes we need them to loop or autoplay automatically. We will insert some kind of alternative error messages as well. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to create hyperlink, and we have three types of hyperlink. We will create a hyperlink to take you to another page. We will create a hyperlink that allow you to send an email, or we'll create a hyperlink that take you to a place in the same page. Okay, that's it for an HTML part here. Okay, now we'll go to the presentation part or presentation layer, which is the styles. And we are going to design a style where we are going to design the table header, the grid lines, the heading styles, body styles, list styles, including an order list, an order list, paragraph styles, and class style, which should be the only one that will be implemented manually, okay, not automatically. And we have the metadata, it's very important. And this is normally the data that describes your website, and the metadata will be placed there in the head section. Okay, this will be defining the character encoding, will define the name of the author, the description of the page, how the page should appear, like viewport, and we will include some keywords. So these information will appear only in the header, and they will be used to describe your page. Other information in the head section also, but they are not considered the metadata, is the title of the page and the target frame, which both of them will define as well in the header section. Okay, guys, so let's start with the head section, or how you can add information to the head section of the page before you start the rest of the section we discussed, okay? So as you can see here, it says the head section create a web page called index.html. This web page will include the following, and all the following should be defined where in the head section. Okay. So let's copy first the page itself, and let's launch the application SharePoint. I should create this web page. I already have one here, so I can just rename this one with the name they need, which is index, as they say. And here we go. So I do have now index.html. And they say in the head section of this page should meet the following specification. Title of the page should be is home page. So to go to the title, I will go page properties. I'll find title here, and it is home page. Okay. So what else? And set the default target window to underscore self if a new page is open from within the page. That means any hyperlink without a target frame should follow this, should be underscore self. And to do so, you'll find it in the same location here. As you can see, different target frame. So I can click here and I can just select same frame, which is underscore self. Okay, and set the name of the author to cabins followed by your names. So now I need to include the name of the author also in the page properties, but I will go custom this time, and I will go user variable add and then author, and it should be your name. Okay, and we need to set the page description to cabins in the wild for the tourists. So just copy the text, and also under page properties, however, instead of typing here description and then typing it, if you go general, you will find it ready for you here. So it's better to do it from here. After I save it, I will actually find it here, you see. So I can do it from here, the shortcut from this area. And you need the viewport. Okay, let's skip this one. Let's go for this one. We need the keywords for use by search engine. So we need actually two appropriate keywords. And I skipped that one because also keywords, we have a shortcut here. We can actually create it from here, but we do have a shortcut. So remember, you have a shortcut for page description and keywords in this area. And the keyword should actually be appropriate to the page. So I will include, for example, cabins in the wild, comma, let's say in Norway. You get it related to the website. So it will be Norway camping. Okay, so it should be always related to your website. And let's go for the last one, which is the viewport, and or how the page will be displayed whenever a user display it in their browser. It should be displayed taking the width of the whole device, and it should be magnified or the initial scale by 200 or 2. Okay, and to do so, also this I will go custom add And this is the only one that we have to remember: viewport width equal device dash width, comma, initial dash scale equal 2.0. And remember, this is the only one that you have to remember. So note it down, because if you get it, you will not find a shortcut here for it. You have to type viewport just like you type your author. There is no shortcut like the keywords or the description. You will find it in general. No, you have to add it from here, user variables, and you have to type viewport width equal device dash width, not space width, comma, initial dash scale, and you follow the scale or magnification given to you. For example, here it should be 2. Okay, that's it for the meta. I don't think we have anything else. How I can take evidence of the meta? You go to the code. So if you go to the code here, you will find that all the information we have just put is in the head section, including the title, including the base target frame, and the meta, as you can see here. So you can actually copy the text or take a screenshot of the page, depending on the question or how they ask you the question. Okay, so let's go task one now, image editing and file management. We need to open this image, which is vertical image.png in an editing package, and we need to prepare it for our website, okay? And I'm going to use application Microsoft Office Picture Manager as usual. Where we go edit image, and then we have all the options here. Now what we need to reflect this image horizontally first. So I will go rotate and flip, and I will select horizontal, so the house will be flipped, as you can see here. And the second question is crop the image, crop the text written on the bottom of the image. I can do the same. I can go back again into edit. I can go crop, and I can remove the bottom part, and I will click OK. Okay, so we need to crop 150 from the left, we said, and 100 from the right. And to do it, you go edit, and we go crop, and then from the left we need 150, as you can see here has been removed, and from the right we need 100, and then you click OK. As you can see now, we have a new size that has been introduced here. Okay, so what we need, save the image as vertical image one png, and the image is png and the new save is png, so you are not changing the format. So we can immediately go save as instead of going export, because I'm not changing the format here. So I'll just add one here, make sure that I'm inside my folder, save the image, and that's it. Okay, reduce the image color quality if needed to make it more suitable for a website. And to reduce the color quality, the only application that can do this color quality is Photoshop. Okay, and we have three color quality. We have 8 bits, we have 16 bits, and we have 32 bits. Whenever we go higher in number, the image will have more quality in terms of color, but it will have a greater storage size. Whenever you go lower in number, 16 or 8, that means it will have less color quality. However, in terms of storage size, it will become a very small storage size, and they need you to reduce it. So I'm going first to run Photoshop and open it using Photoshop. So I'll close this application here, and I'm going to run it using my Photoshop here application. All Photoshop application, regardless of their version, they do it with the same way in the same tab. Okay, so any of you, previously any students using 2015, 2017 Photoshop, any Photoshop, you'll find it there in the center. You will find that it uses this image. And remember, whenever we're increasing the steps in the image, we always use the last one saved. So I'll take this one, I'll add it here in my Photoshop, and this is my image now. So I will go image, and I will go mode, and I will make sure that it's 8 bits. Okay, that's why the question says if needed. So if it was 16, I will make it 8 bits. If they would like evidence and it was 16, I will put the evidence like this. I'll take a screenshot showing that it is 16. Let me first. I'll take a screenshot like this. And then after I make it 8, okay, I'll take another screenshot like this. to show them that I've changed it to 8 bit per channel. But for now, it's already 8 bit per channel, so I don't need to change anything in this image. Okay, but remember, in some questions, you might really find it 16, so you have to put it back again into 8 to reduce the storage size. Okay, now reduce the image storage size even more, this time by changing the format. So the image is PNG, now we're going to make it JPG. Okay, and with the same file name, however, the type will be different. The type will be JPG. I can do it here in Photoshop, but I prefer to do it to show you how you can do it back in the same application that we've used for cropping, just for the sake of making sure that we use the same application all the time. So I'll go file here, I'll go export, and you can do it using Paint as well. And the name will be the same name, but I'm going here to change it to JPG, and I'm going to say okay, and it will be saved in my folder. So if I go back and show you the folder, you'll find that we have it now as a JPG with the same name. And if I compare them, as you can see here, you'll find that by making it JPG instead of PNG, the file has been reduced dramatically. As you see, 1 mega, 1.4 mega into 200 kilobyte. That's a huge difference in size. Okay, and normally after you have done this question, let's see whether we have completed the question. Now we need still to resize it to 600 with maintaining aspect ratio. That means the height will be changed automatically. So let's change it first and then discuss the last point. Okay, so I need to change it, and I need to change the new one, which is the JPG. Remember, always stick with the last one modified. And I need to edit the size this time and make it 600 with maintaining aspect ratio. So I'll just keep the aspect ratio of the old one. Okay, now remember, this specific point where you change the width and height, we prefer using Paint for it, or Paint 3D, because see, I've already put the new widths here. However, it's showing me a different width here, you see. So this application has some kind of issue with resizing. So we always prefer to do it using Paint, which is the simplest one whenever you go for resizing. Okay, so I'm using Paint, and you should use Paint if you, or Paint 3D, and it's here. If I click here, it will say resize, and it's in pixel, and I need it a 600 pixel, and it should maintain an aspect ratio, means it should change the height automatically, as you can see here, because this box here is being colored. Okay, so I'll click OK. And do I need to save it to a different name? Yes, I need to save it as vertical image 2. So I'll go file, save as, stay as JPG. Only you need to change it to 2, go desktop, and that's it. Okay, so let's stick there, let's see. And now we have another one, which is JPG now. Okay, and it's 2, so it's a resize. And let me show you the dimension. So I'll click here, go more, let's see the dimension, so I can show you that it has been resized. And this is a very typical question where they will ask you to show the image name, the folder name, the type, the size, and the dimension, so you can actually show them that you have resized it from 724 into 600. And as you can see, the height has been changed as well. Okay, and this is one of the evidence that you have to prepare, because after you finish all of this, they will ask you to take a screenshot of the whole folder to show them that you have done what you should do. And this is your evidence. I'll take my folder name, which is very important. As you can see here, I have the file name, and I have the extension .css.html, and I have the type, I have the size, I have the dimension. Okay, we don't need the date modified. And sometimes in other question as well, let me just do this for you, because we have videos and we have audios, they might ask you to show them the frame width and frame height. So just type F, and this is the frame width, this is the frame height. They might ask even to show this, so I can know the width and height of the video, as you can see here. So this video, which is cabin video, is 432 pixel by 768. So sometimes they might ask you even to show this, so make sure that you have smaller here. And so the screenshot now will be including the folder as usual, and then including the frame width and frame height. Are we good? So this is very important whenever they ask you. After you finish editing the message here, they will ask you for this kind of evidence. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? So as you can see, I can use Photoshop, I can use Paint, I can use Picture Manager, regardless of the application you are using. Just make sure that you master it. Okay, just make sure that you can actually do it perfectly. Okay, so in task two now, we are going to create our web page. We are going to create a web page for a company. It has to have efficient markup, and this is the folder, and these are the files we need to put in the folder. So I'm going to copy the folder name, make sure that I create my folder, and I'm going to copy the file that I need to put, cabin banner, logos, cabin winter. All these files should be there. So these are the files that we need, and we put them inside the folder. If you forget a file, you can always add it later. And let's start. So first, create a web page called homepage.html. Remember, whenever they ask you to create a folder, you need to launch the application, which is SharePoint. And I'll close any previous site if I have it. I don't have it here, so I'll go open site. Make sure that I point to my folder, the folder I just created here, and here we go. So you need to have all the files here, remember, before you start creating your first page. Okay, so the first page name is homepage.html. How we do it, you go file, new, and html. Make sure that you are in design here, and let's save it with the name given. And here we go. So now we have the file here, as you can see, and open here. What we need, this is the first table we are going to do, which is pixel based. Okay, later I'm going to do as well a percentage based table here. So let's first do this one. This is work on all browsers, and it's pixel. And remember, whenever you have a pixel table, the width will be implied here. So this cell is actually covering the whole width of the column. So this is the width of the table. So in pixel tables, the width will be inside the table. Unlike later in percentage table, you will find that the width is above the table. Okay. So three information we need to know: how many rows, how many columns, and the width. This is the width, how many rows we have. One, two, three, four rows, and we have two columns, and the width is 900. So we need to insert a table with four rows, two columns, and 900 pixel. And we need this table here to look like this one. Okay, so I'll merge this, I'll merge these two. So right click, let's merge, and let's merge these two. Are we good, guys? Any question, you can always comment down there. I can see your comments in the other screen, so don't be shy. I can always stop the video and repeat. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E. Okay, now we're ready. Let's make sure that each and every cell has the identified pixels, 580 by 577. Right click, cell properties. This is 580 by 577, and 320 by 445. Okay, and 320 by 132, and 900 by 200, and last is 900 by 80. And here we go. Now we have the table. Next, each table set is identified with a letter, we know. Dimension and pixel, we know. The letters and dimension shown must not appear, we know that as well. Table borders must not appear. So sometimes they say table border appear, sometimes must not appear. In both of them, whenever they ask you to do so in HTML, not CSS, remember, you need to go and do it from the code. So I'll go the code, I'll go where the table start here, and I will add border, and I will select it. And since it must not appear, it will be 0. If it must appear, it will be 1. So I'll make it 0. Okay? All right, guys? Because this is in HTML, not in CSS. Number 2, place in cell A the image cabin. Where is cell A? Remove the letter and jump and put the image cabin. Whoa, that's a big image. And resize the image so it's 750 pixel wide, maintaining aspect ratio. So we'll only put the width and the height will change automatically. Double click on the image, appearance, and it should be 570 width. And as you can see here, because aspect ratio is stick, the height will change automatically. Now it will be resized to a proper size. Next, in cell B, place the image logo. Now let's remove cell B. Let's find the image logo and place it. Resize this image so it's 300 pixel wide by 440. So aspect ratio is not maintained here. Okay. So I'll double click appearance, anti aspect ratio, make it 316 by 440. So 316 by 440. Yes, sir. And that's it. Next, in cell C, the text Muhannad Cabin Company. So this is my company, okay? So here we go. And I should make it H1. Okay, I should make it H1. So I'll click on it from here, make it H1. In the a video tag, okay, and this is a video. Let's do the video code now, and it should be in the video tag with cabin videos. It should fit the dimensions of the cell. That means the width should be 100%, and it should show controls plays automatically when the page opens, and we should have a display message. Okay, all of this in cell D. Where is cell D? Here. So let's do it. Let's remove the cell D, click on it. I'll go to the code here, and I have the cell D here, as you can see. Can you see now? And I will be removing the letter D, enter to give a space. And then I'm going to include my markup, which is video. Sorry for this, which is video. Okay, I'll make it smaller so I can see. Width equal 100% because it says it should fit the width. And it should have controls, and I think they say it should autoplay, and it should autoplay. Okay, so then I would say autoplay. Now whenever you say autoplay, the browser will not autoplay it unless it's muted, so you have to include muted, otherwise it will not autoplay. Okay, it has to be autoplay without a sound. And now sometimes they say loop, so I might also add loop. If they ask you and loop automatically, so it will continue looping, you can add loop, okay, as well. Okay, depend on the question. And then I will close the video, and now I have the container. Okay, so I need now to specify what should be playing inside the container. So it's a source src equal, and this is my video. And to make it faster for the browser to play the video, I have to include also the type of video, as you can see, and close the source. Now, if your browser does not support the video, or your device, I would say your browser does not support this video format. Okay, so the user knows that there should be a video here and it cannot play it. Okay, and here we go. Of course, we will see the message here because this application does not support this video format. So but if I go and display it in browsers for here, I should have the video playing automatically, as you can see, without me clicking. And if I include it loop, you will find that it will continue looping and looping and looping. So now we have a nice video. Okay, guys? Any question regarding the videos? Any question? Any question regarding the video? Okay, so let's go next. In cell E, an audio tag to play the audio winter sound.mp3. Okay? Okay, now let's do the audio. And in cell E, we need audio tag, and this is the audio file. So it's the same idea like the video. A few changes only will make, and it should show controls loop automatically, and also display an error message, as you can see, and it should be in cell E. So this is cell E. Again, I will go to the code, and again, I will remove the letter E, as you can see here. Okay, and I will give space, and I will start typing. This time it's an audio, and in audio we don't need width and height, it's just a bar. So I would say controls and autoplay. It says autoplay, or what do we need? And it should loops automatically, not autoplay. So I would say loop and close it. And now this is a container. What should be played inside it? It's a source src equal, and then I will type the audio, and for the browser to play it, I'll mention it's an audio and the extension is an mp3. And as usual, I'll just copy the message of the video here, and I'll place it here, and I would say this audio format, and we're done. Okay, so this is the whole idea and the difference between video and audio. Let me now save and display my browser to show you the audio is working. Okay, okay, the audio is working fine. Okay, guys, so you might expect to have an audio in this paper, or a video. So in both cases, they are simple. Now let's go to the second way of inserting a table, and now we'll insert another table. However, this time the table structure, as you can see here, is percentage, not pixel. And the only difference other than percentages, as you can see here, is that the width of the table will be normally mentioned in the paragraph before the table. You cannot know the width of the table from inside the table itself. So it says the table should be 90%, and and it should be two columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should be 4 rows. So let's insert it just below the table here. So I'll click here, make sure that from the code I'm outside the table. Yes, I'm outside the table, and I'll go insert a table, and it should be 4 rows, 2 columns, isn't it? Okay, and it should be 90%. Okay, so now we have the table, and we need to merge all these. So I'll merge all this together, and I'll name them A, B, C, D, and E. So this is A, B, C, D, and we have E here. Okay, so now let's double check. A should have 30% width only defined, there is no height. Cell properties, and the width should be 30, and it should be in percent. 70% for B and D. So cell properties, is it width or height? Width as well. So it should be 70 also in percent, and the D also, repeat the same idea. It's a 70 in percent. Okay, and the C should have a height 10%. So this one is different. This one we have the height, and the height is 10%. Okay, let me check from the code. All of them are in percentage. All of them are done in percentage, and that's it. Next, each table is identified. Dimensions are shown. Do not display. Set the height of B and E. Yes, we have done that. And table borders must appear this time. Remember that in the first table it must not appear, but in this table it must appear. So we'll do it the same way. I'll go to the code, find my second table here, and type border equal, and this time it should be 1. Why? It must appear. So they expect you to have the code border 1 there. Okay, so far? So next, let's insert the following in the cells. In cell A, the image vertical image 2. Remember the image that we have saved in step 1. So let's insert it in cell A. And this is my image. And this is the tricky part now. Whenever we have a percentage, they might ask you to resize the image with different ways. For example, here it should fit the width of the cell. That means it should be 100%. However, we need to use an inline style. So it's not proper to just go there, make it 100, and then make it percent. No, they need you to show that you have included a style. That means I'll click on the image, remember, and go to the code. This is the width and height of the image for now. So I'll remove the width and height of the image. I will include a style equal, because they need it as inline style, and inline style, that means it's a style that is defined in the same line of text. So, and I would say width, and I will select my width here, and I will make it 100%. By this, the image will follow the cell, so it will fill the whole cell. Okay, whenever they say fill the whole cell, it should always be 100%. Okay, so now it's done for this one. In B, the image banner. So in B here, I will include the image banner, and it should insert it as an inline also and fit the cell also. So I'll click on the banner, go to the code, do the same thing. I'll just remove the width and height, include the style equal width, select the width, and make it 100%. Okay. Next, we have in D, and remember, sometimes they ask you for alternative text. If they ask you for alternative text, you can just, for example, double click here in this image, and the image name is banner. So you can include here, for example, banner image. Okay, this is in case the user does not see this image for a reason, it will display this text instead. Just like, the error message of the video, but here we do it here, okay? If the question requires an alternative text. Now in D, I'm going to include the same video, and in E, I'm going to include the same audio we have included before, but I'm going just to make some changes here, because whenever we're using the video in this kind of cells, you will find that whenever I created the video here, it will say just fit the width of the cell. If I go up here and show you that one, here it says fit the dimensions of this cell, okay, in the previous video. And in this one as well, it says that fit the dimension of this cell. So what's the difference between them? Now here, this video is included in D, so the dimension should be 100% of this cell. So it should fit the whole 70%. So the video should be 100% of the cell, or fit in the whole cell. Now previously, the video should be in D as well, but in this table, so the video width should be 900 and the height should be 200. Let's see whether we have done it previously or not. So I'll go to the previous video, go back to the code, check the code of the video, because now if you look here, you will find that this video has been included in a cell that is not in percentage. You get? So the cell here is 900 pixel and the height is 200 pixels. So this code here should not be 100%. Okay? Why? Because the cell is not in percentage. So I would say width equal 900. Okay, so the width equal 900 and the height equal, what's the height of the cell? 200. Okay, so I should include here 200. So now, as you can see here, this video now will fit the width of the cell. So it will be 900 by 200. So whenever they ask you to make sure that the width fits the width and height of the cell, you include the width and height. If they say only fit the width of the cell, you include only the width. Okay, so let's double check the question again and see whether we should include only the width or the width and height. It should fit the dimensions of this cell. So we need to put the width and height. If it says fit the width of the cell, we'll only include the 900 or the width, okay? We'll not include the height. This is if you are inserting the video in what we call a pixel table, okay? If we include the video, I'll copy the same video here now to include it in the other table. However, this time I need to include it in a percentage table in cell D, okay? So here I'm going to include the video. However, this video now is included in a percentage table, okay? In this cell here. So I will just copy the same code since we're using the same video as you can see. However, if you look here, this cell is actually in percentage. So whenever they say fit the width of the cell, and the question says this time here, I would say width equal 100%. Why I said 100%? Because the cell is in percentage. So this is the only difference, guys. If you have a table and an audio in a video or an audio in a table that is a percentage or a table that is in pixel. Okay. So I'll do the same for the audio because next question it says you need to include this audio and it should also loops automatically with the page. Okay. So the audio is the same idea. We'll just copy the audio and include it in the cell that they say, which is cell E. So I'll go for cell E here and I'll go back to the code and I will include the audio. So where is cell E here now? Here, cell E. So I'll include it here in this area. After, make sure I remove everything inside the cell. So it's audio controls and the audio name. Now the question is cell E here. If you look in the question paper, you will find that in cell E there is no width, there is no height, and even if there is a width or a height, the audio does not require width or height. Anyways, we never include width and height in the audio because the audio at the end of the day is just a bar where you can play it and pause it. Let me show you. So if now I display it in my browser, you will see that the audio is just a small bar. Even if I make it 100%, it will not change the width or height. It's just this, you know, just a small audio, as you can see bar here. And the same goes here. Okay, are we good? So only the difference in the table, whenever we are including a video in a pixel table, will set the width and height in pixel. If we include the video in a percentage table and they ask you to fit the width of the cell, you have to include it as 100%. If they give you a specific width and height, both of them should also be in percentage. Okay, guys, any question regarding this point and differences between these two, videos and audio? Are we good? Should we continue? Yes, yes. So the video itself, the width and height depends on the table. If it's pixel, the width or the height of the video should be in pixel. If it's percentage, it should be in percentage. That's it. The audio does not require width and height anyways. Okay? And you have to memorize both codes. You have to memorize both codes. Okay? Okay, so let's go now for step number 8. Yes, Asil, I can see you typing you have an internet problem. Unfortunately, I cannot fix your internet problem. No one can fix your internet problem, Asil. Just make sure that no one else is using internet at your home. Disconnect, go double check your house, make sure that no one is using any heavy application, and come back and log in again. Okay? Talking small, yeah. Okay. Yes, disconnect and reconnect again. Disconnect and reconnect again. Okay, and remember this video will be uploaded so you can come back again and double check whatever point you are missing now. Okay. Okay, so let's continue, guys. So in 8, a place in cell C the text from the file text.txt. So let's open the file first. This is the text. Control A, Control C, or copy the text, and we need it in cell C. Where is cell C? So I'll just replace cell C with this text here. It says set the text as a paragraph style and then set the text memorable and inspiring as H1. Okay, so let me do H1 first and then do paragraph style. So memorable here should be H1 just to separate them from each other. So this part here should be H1, and see, now we have a space between them, and this part here will be a paragraph. And then I will get rid of the space by delete from my keyboard, pressing delete. So now this one is H1 as you can see, and this one is a paragraph. This is the only way that you can actually have different style in the same cell. Make sure that the heading is first done and then the paragraph, or you can just include a space between them, do them and then remove the space. Okay, next, insert in a new row, and it should be the last row in the table. So we should insert a new row. So I'll click on the last row here, right click, insert. It should be a last row. That means I will insert a row below. So now I have a row below here, you can see. And the following text should be there. So just copy the text, our offers, all this should be the text that should be placed there. So I'll copy the text and place the text here. And I'll make sure that the text looks like this text. So we have enter, enter, one room cabinet. This one should be here. Okay, so this is the text. Now what we need, format only the text our offers and the text our location as paragraph. So our offer should be a paragraph, our location should be a paragraph. Okay, and we need to format the text start in one room up to three rooms as an ordered list, and the text south bay up to north bay should be as an unordered list. So this part here should be an ordered list, so I'll select only this part, and it should be, the first one should be an ordered list. So where is the list? Here the list. So I'll select the ordered list here, and I will fix it by backspace in my keyboard, backspace, and then I will go to second line, backspace, backspace, and enter, so I can fix the number in here. As you can see, backspace and enter. Now we're done with the order list, and the other text should be an unordered list. So I'll select the other text as well. Okay, and it should be an unordered list, and I will fix it the same way. If you have it this way, always do a backspace, backspace, and then enter, and it will be fixed by itself. Okay guys, now we have an ordered list and an unordered list ready for us. Insert another row below the table as the last row. Another row, let's insert another row, why not? So let's insert another row below, and now we have another row below, and we should put the following text. Click here to go to the top of the page, and let's include this text. Done. Create an anchor on the cell containing the text Muhannad Cabinet Company with the name company. So we need an anchor to be created. And remember, the anchor is one type of a hyperlink that is not visible within the page. So the anchor should be in this cell that contain Muhannad Company. So I'll click just inside the cell, and to click an anchor, I will go insert, bookmark, and it should name company. Okay, and it will not be visible here, but if I go to the code, you will find that I can actually see it here in the code. See, we have a name here as company, which is the anchor, and anchor is the only navigation aid that is not visible because it's only used for taking you to this place later. Make the text our location a hyperlink that when clicked on will take you to the anchor company. So I'll go back down, our location, I'll make it a hyperlink, and it will not take you to another page. It will not allow you to send an email. It will take you to a place in the same page and it will take you to company. See? Now, this text will be linked now with the anchor I created at the top. To double check it, I will hold control from my keyboard, press, see, it takes me up. If I go down there, click, it will take me up. That means the anchor now is working fine. So this is one type of hyperlink that we're going to do today. Okay. Next, make sure the text, click here, a hyperlink to take you to the top of the page. Make only the text, click here, a hyperlink that takes you to the top of the page. So whenever I click on this text, it should takes me to the top of the page. That means just before the first table. However, just like now, we need to create an anchor at the top of the page first so we can link that anchor with this one. See the difference in the question? In the previous question, they ask you to create the anchor and then they ask you to make the hyperlink. Here, they are giving you both of them in the same question. They just say make sure that the text click here is a hyperlink to the top of the page. That means they expect you to go manually to the top of the page just before the table, and I can do it only from the code to make sure that I'm just before the table. And I will create an anchor, and they do not specify the anchor name. Okay, so I can name it top, I can name it start, I can name it anything. You get it? But I will just name it top. Now I have a location at the top that I can go to using a hyperlink. And the question says make sure the text click here is the hyperlink. So I'll go hyperlink, and this time I'm going to the top. And I will link this text, and I can double check it using control, and I will click, and it takes me to the top. If I click on our location, it will take me to Muhammad company. So both anchors now are working. So remember guys, you have to know how to create an anchor and how to link an anchor. Any question regarding these two? Okay, let's move on. And let's make only the text our offer hyperlink to the web page. Now this is a normal now hyperlink that will take you to a normal web page, which is the simplest hyperlink. So let's find our offers and let's make it a hyperlink. Only the text our offers. So I'll select only our offers. Hyperlink this time take you to another page, and this is the address, and it should open a new window called new. So it will open in a target frame called underscore new. And that's it. Next, make the banner image a hyperlink to send an email to this email address. Okay. So we need the banner image. Which image is a banner? I think this one. If I double click, let's double check. Yes, this is the banner image. So I'll right click on the image, go hyperlink, this time email, this email address. Do we have a subject? Information requested. So this is the subject will be information requested, and that's it. Next, create a new style sheet with the name style1.css and attach it to the web page. So I've done now the HTML part. I'll just save, go file, new, and this time I'll select CSS, and I will name it with the name needed, style sheet 1, which we should have it here now. And I will go back to the page. How I attach it, I'll just drag and drop it. No changes will be done because it's an empty style sheet. So I'll just drag and drop it and go back again. Let me close this text file. Okay, guys. So your name, center number, character number are set as a comment at the top of the style sheet. So this one is a slash star. Your name, center number, and candidate number end with a star and a slash. That means it will be ignored by the browsers. All table borders are solid all tables. And remember, whenever we come to the table style, we have three of them. We have the table, and we have the TD, and we have the TH. Okay? And we have the T foot, but it's not used anymore. So mainly they will actually ask you for a table or a table data or TD or a table header or TH. So let's double check now. Before I go into the details, remember one rule. In the table data, we have only two major things. Whenever they say internal grid lines or internal border, or they say cell padding, these are the only two things that we will create in the TH. The rest is normally will be in the table unless they say it's a TH, okay, or table header. So whenever you start a style sheet, remember what I said. We have only two things that we define in the table data or TD, and these are them: the internal grid lines or internal borders and the cell padding. These will be always defined in the table data or the TD. The rest is always in the table unless they say, for example, a table header where you actually include it in the TH. So let's look and apply this rule. All table borders are solid within 2 pixels. That means internal borders and external borders. So the table and the TD here will have solid and 2 pixel borders. So we can do them together since the question says they are together here. All tables are center aligned. This is the table. All table elements are separated and have the space between them 10 pixels. This is also the table. External borders are this color. This is also under table. Table width is 90% under table. Table has a light gray background under table. All table cells have the padding to 20 pixel. This is now TD. Remember, whenever they say cell padding, we go TD. Internal table or grid lines are 50 blue with no other component. This is also TD, because as I said, it can be anything related to grid lines or internal border, or anything related to cell padding will be under TD. Okay, are we good? And I should include for the change, I should include here, oh no, it's already there. Table header cell has a light green background and color, and this is TH. Okay, so now we have defined the three of them: the table, the TD, and the TH. And to make it simple, whenever they say table header, it's a TH. Anything under table except internal grid lines and cell padding. So let's now start and define the common ones, which is, for example, now both of them, they are solid and 2 pixel. So let's go back into your style sheet, new style sheet, and we'll do the common one, which is the table, comma, TD. Both of them should be solid and 2 pixel. That's it for the common properties. Now let's do only the table. So let's define now a table and finish only the table part, a table. And it should be center align in the browser. Remember, center align, we do it from the box. That means it has right margin auto, left margin auto. If it says it should be right align, that means right align 0, left margin auto. If it say it should be left align, that means left align is 0, right margin is auto. But for now it says center align, so both of them are auto. So the table will be pushed to the center. Okay. All tables are separated, and the space of the border between them should be 10 pixel. This is from table here, not collapse, and the spacing is 10, and it should be in pixel. External borders are 75 green, 25 blue, and 100% red. That means if I go to the border here, I can set the color. And remember, whenever you're actually setting the color, you will find that you need to memorize the percentages. 25% is 40. If you have 50% is 80. 75% is C0, and 100% is F. You have to remember these. Okay, remember that these has to be remembered. 25% is the code 40. 50%, you just multiply by 2, it's a code 80. And 75% is the code C0. 100% is the code FF. And 0 or no color is the code 00. Okay, so this has to be memorized. These are the only percentages that you need to memorize for the exam. The rest will be given to you as a code. Okay, so let's do it. Any question regarding this? We have covered them many times, so I think you are good to go with them. Yes. So external border should be 75 green. That means the green should be Z0 and the blue should be 40 and the red should be F, and it's always start as RGB. So always red, green and blue. Okay, so it should be FF C0 40. FF C0 40, and this is the color we're getting for the border of the table. Okay, table width is 90%. The width is always in the position here. It's 90 and it's not in pixel, it should be in percentage. Next, table has a light gray background color, so I'll go background color and I will select the color and it should be just a light gray. Okay, so here we are. Next, all table cells has padding of 20 pixel. Now we mention, whenever we mention cell padding, we go where? TD. So I'll just close the table, go back here now, create another one for the internal grid lines or borders, and it should have a padding of 20 pixels. So I'll go box here, and it should be same for all, so 20, and it should be pixel, okay? And internal grid lines are 50% blue, 50% means 80 blue, and the rest is 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0, and 80, okay? So the color should be 000080. This is the internal one. If I click OK and go back, save and go back, I'll show you whether it's up. Yes, you see, background is there, external color, internal color is blue, and everything looks nice. It has been applied perfectly. Okay, so let's go back here again now. We've done it. Now we need to, before I do the style, let's do the table head since we're here. So table header cell, and we define the table header cell by saying it's a th. Remember, table header is a th, and it should have a light green background color, and the text should be center aligned and bold. Okay, so it's a lime green background color and the text is center aligned and bold. Let's do the bold from here. Let's do the center line from here, and it should have a light green background color. So I'll go background, go color, and I need a very light green like this one. And here we go. Now we have a th or table header. Okay, and remember, table header has to be applied only to the header cell. So if the question says and apply this to a specific cell, let's say the question says apply header cell to the cell that says Muhannad Cabin Company. So I'll right click on this cell, go cell properties, and make this as a header cell. So whenever you tick this as a header cell, it will take only the style of that of the header. See, so now this one is a header cell. This now works only with this style. Okay, this is how you can actually set a cell as a header cell. So let's get back again to the common ones between H1 and H2 here. So it says that let's design H1 and H2 styles. So it's an H1 comma, it's an H2, and the font should be copper black. Okay, comma, if not available, it should be impact. So we're giving the device more than one option. And if not available, any serif font. So depends on the browser whether they have this font or they can use any serif font. So it's good. So this one will be applied for H1 and H2, as you can see here. And I'll click OK. And now still we have H1 and H2 should be center aligned. I'll just modify it. Go back and modify. Make sure it's center aligned. And H2 has a font color with a hexadecimal blue component of 99 and no red or green. And remember, it's an RGB, so it's a 000099. Okay, so the font color should be 000099. Wow, this is a bad font color. Okay, let me change this font color. Let's mix even because I don't want it to be white. So 99 or even for the green. Okay, I'll change it, and the green should be 99. I'll just change it for the sake of making sure that it appears. I don't like this white color. It need a background that is black. Let's make it FF 00FF. Yeah, let's make it this color. Okay, 00FF and 99. Okay, so I'll change it later. Okay, now I've done with the common ones. We need to do H1, H2 alone now. So I'll go new, and I will do H1, and it should be 18 point high. So it should be 18 and not pixel, it will be point, okay? And H2 should be 14 point high. So we need to create another one, which is H2, and it will be 14 points also, not pixel high. Paragraph is 22 point and left align. That means I need to create another style called P now, which should be 22 point high and left align. So it will be 22 point and left aligned. Okay. Now, ordered and unordered list, which is rare to come. Normally, they will ask you to create a list. Whenever they ask you to create a list, the operator will be just li. Okay, so if they ask you just create a list that is has 16, let's say, pixel size, I'll just say li. If I create it as an li, it will be applied to ordered and unordered list. Okay, if I make it li, it will be applied to ordered and unordered list. But if you look here, I have ordered and unordered list, and I need them to have different styles, different color, different size, different even font. If you'd like to do so, if you'd like the ordered list to follow a different style than the unordered list, then you will find that in the question paper they will ask you to create specific style for unordered list. Let's do it, which will be called ul instead of li, because li will be applied to all, and it will be left align 10 pixel indentation. So it will be left align, and the indentation should be 10 pixel from the left, and dark blue color, and I should select any dark blue color for the font itself. This is, dark blue color, or yeah, let's select this one. Okay, this is darker now. If I go back, you will see that it will be only applied to this list here. If you can see the difference, I can see it from here. So this list is actually blue, this list is still black. Okay, so only the ul unordered list here will have the styles applied. Okay, let's do another one for the ordered list. So I'll go new now, and ol, and the order list should be 12 pixel left aligned and black. So this one will be 12, and it will also be left aligned, and the color should be black, and that's it. So now the other one is actually black. Oh, that's very small. That's very small. Let me change the pixel now. um Even though I said it's 12 pixel and this one is 12 pixel, maybe the first one I've done it not pixel. The first one I've done it pixel. Yeah. So why the OL is very small? Okay, the OL is actually very, very, very small, as you can see here. So let me change it. Let's say that the question says make it the OL 20 pixel. How about that? Yeah, let's make these changes and see. Better, not that much. Make it 50. Yeah. So let's stick with 50. Let's stick with 50. 50 is good. Okay. What else? The page has the background image founder.jpg places at the top right corner. So whenever they say the whole page has something, that means the style is always body. Remember, the style will be always body. So I will make it body. Yes, yeah, Ahmed. I've just changed it here now so it appears. I've made it 50 so it appears because I'm actually making this paper, so I think 50 is acceptable, you see. Okay, but you have to follow the question paper, of course, in the exam. All right. Okay. Okay. So whenever they have the whole page, that means it's a body style, and it should have this founder image, and it should be top right corner. So I'll go background, browse, and find the founder image here. Okay, and it should be top right corner. That means it should not be repeated. No repeat. And top right, that means the x-axis should go to the right and the y-axis should go to the top. Now it will become a top right corner. Okay, it will appear on the top right corner. Let me show you. And if I go to the top right, it is in the top right corner, and this is the founder of this web page. And it should be 300 pixel width and 400 pixel respectively. That means it should be 300 pixel width and 400 pixel wide. And remember, this is just like the comment, you have to do them manually. There is no ready style for you to make it 300 pixel and 400 pixel wide. You get it? You have to do it manually in the style sheet. So I'll have to include it here manually. Background dash size 300 px 400 px. You have to do it manually, unfortunately. So you have to memorize this code and the comment code. Okay, guys, this code and the comment code and the video and audio code. So, and then I will save it, and let's see whether the image size has been changed now. See the image size. I can even increase it, show it to you in the browser. Okay, let me see how it look like in the browser now. See, very big in the browser now. Unlike it will be applied here. See. So if I change it, let me change it again. Let's make it 600, 400 by 400 to see the difference. 400 by 600 or 800 so that it can be distorted. Okay, I'm only doing this so it can be distorted, and I'll update my browser. See, now it will be, as you can see here now, a distorted images. See, the height is greater than the width. Okay, so anyways, this code has to be memorized manually. Okay, this code has to be memorized manually. And last but not least, we have the class purple, which is defined with bold text and purple color. And whenever they say it's a class, that means you have to include the dot that we always remove. So I'd say purple, and the dot is there so you can apply this class manually. This class will not be applied automatically whenever you attach it to the web page like the rest of the style. Okay, so that's why you have to include the dot. It should be bold and it should be purple color. So it should be bold and the color should be a purple color. Okay, and we need to later apply it automatically. Okay, and then you save your style sheet and you apply the class. So the question says here, apply the class to the text visit to Norway. Okay, to the text visit to Norway, and that's it. Okay, so I'll select it, select the text Norway here, and I have the class here. See, because this style sheet is already attached. So right click on the class and I would say apply, and it will only be applied, as you can see here, for this text. This is how you can apply a class style. You have to apply it manually. You select the text and you right click and you click on apply, and it will be applied. Okay, guys. Okay.